Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. You're just in time for a story. Have you heard the story of Iona and the Sea? No? It's a fantastic adventure about a little girl who goes on a quest to save the seas. Would you like to hear it? Good. Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's start. It was the first day of the summer holidays, and the sun glittered and danced with the waves as Iona played on the beach at a holiday home by the Clyde. Iona had been going to Dunoon for her holidays every year since she was little, and was always excited to get to the beach where she could explore the shore and build sandcastles. "Mind to keep an eye on the time," shouted her mum, as she ran out the back garden gate and onto the beach, weighed down with sandwich bags, fishing nets, buckets and spades, towels and a change of clothes. "And you be careful of those waves." Iona spent the day rock pooling, paddling and collecting shells and sea glass to make the most fantastic sandcastle there had ever been. Her castle was huge, with a moat and a driftwood drawbridge, a keep and towering turrets. Shells decorated the battlements, and the sea glass glinted like gems in the sun. So busy was Iona creating her fortress that she didn't notice the water until it was lapping at the doors of her castle's keep. A crack of thunder startled Iona. She looked up to see the tide coming in quickly. The waves roared unnaturally forwards, surging this way and that, cutting her off and slowly encircling her. Iona panicked, frantically looking for safety from her ever-shrinking island. But it was no good. She couldn't escape. Suddenly, from out of the water, there rose a huge figure that towered over Iona. His skin was glittering like wet sand. His long green robes swirled like the ocean. Iona was pretty sure she could see fish swimming in the folds of his clothing. His great hair was a tangle of seaweed that whipped around his face in the wind. There stood the sea god, Shoni, Lord of the Oceans.
"Please, help me!"
cried Iona. "Why should I care what happens to humans? My seas are full of their waste, killing my subjects and poisoning my waters."
"I'll do anything at all, please."
"Very well," boomed Shoni. "If I save you, you must promise to take care of my seas and shores."
"I promise,"
said Iona. Shoni swirled his great arms, conjuring the ancient powers of the sea. Iona felt a tingling in her nose, and it started to change shape. Her hands became flippers, and her feet became fins. She transformed into a seal.
"I thought you were going to save me,"
wailed Iona. "Down there," Shoni boomed, pointing through the depths. Ignoring her pleas, he dived deep down into the waters, and Iona had no option but to follow. Through the swirling currents and eddies, they dived deep down into the sea, following the direction Shoni had pointed to. As they swam, they saw many wondrous sights. Huge swirling red flame shell beds, fish of all shapes and sizes, forests of seaweed, and sea pens standing tall on the seabed. "There's one," said a voice from behind them, and out from behind a rock a turtle swam straight towards a ghostly white shape floating in front of them. The turtle took a bite. "Yuck! Plastic bag again!" he said, trying to spit out the contents of his mouth.
Why are there so many plastic bags everywhere? Complained the turtle. I can't tell the difference between plastic bags and yummy jellyfish.
Why can't you just eat something else?
Asked Iona.
Then you won't be so easily confused.
Oh, 'cause I love jellyfish so much, replied the turtle sadly, and swam off through the sea.
Do you see what I mean? Grumbled Shoney. Your rubbish is poisoning my waters. Come on, there's more. As they swam, Iona was distracted by twinkling coloured lights shining through strange shapes on the surface of the sea. Shoney seemed to be heading towards the lights, and it wasn't until they were much closer that she noticed a huge shape swimming ponderously through the light. It was quite the oddest thing she had ever seen, and this was from a girl who'd just been changed into a seal. The fish was enormous, at least 10 metres long, and had a huge bulbous grey nose above a yawning chasm of a mouth.
Ooh, wow! Ooh, wow! Wow! Wow!
Moaned the basking shark as he slid through the water.
Ooh, wow! Ooh,
What's the matter? Asked Iona, sidling up next to the beleaguered fish.
It's my tummy, moaned the basking shark. I can't stop eating all this rubbish floating in the sea. Oh, I've tried eating the plankton like this,
he said, making a strange face like sucking through a straw.
but I just go hungry. And I've tried like this as well, but the plastic just keeps getting in at the sides. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm going to have to go far away to find somewhere without all this rubbish. Wow.
And with that, he dived deep down into the water and out of sight. It's getting worse, grumbled Shoney sadly, swimming up next to Iona. You humans are poisoning my seas. Why do you hurt my subjects like this? On they swam until he reached a rocky island by the shore where they could watch people picnic and play on the beach.
They'll never change,
Came a voice from behind the rocks.
Just look at what they've done to me.
From where the voice came, there limped a large bird with a long beak and spindly legs, all tied together with green fishing rope. He took a few paces and then fell over in a big tumble of legs and feathers. Oh, you poor thing, said Iona, shuffling forward to the heron's side, her seal tummy bumping along the cold, wet rock as she went. She tried to untangle the netting, but her flippers were just clumsy and awkward. Eventually, she managed to bite the net away from the bird's legs and set him free. Shoney rose from the sea, tears of joy streaming down his face. For this act of kindness, you are released, he said, and with a huge gesture, a rolling wave swept Iona into the sea. When she washed up on the shore, coughing and spluttering, she was no longer a seal, but had magically transformed back into a girl. And from that day forwards, Iona became a champion of the seas, fighting to keep them clean for Shoney and all its beautiful inhabitants. The end. Did you like my story? Good, I'm glad. Be sure to tune in again for another tale of exciting adventure with Iona and the seas. Goodbye for now.